Boxing King Media, powered by BYD. Gareth A. Davies sat in a dark room. Gareth, is everything all right, mate? All the lights are off. You got candles on?
Yeah, I've got flashing lights, Christmas lights over there on my statue. Yeah, I'm sat in a dark room, um, just masticating
Uh,
over.
What? Say again.
I'm masticating.
All right, okay.
I'm cogitating over the week ahead.
All
In
right.
in in It's been a very bright, sunny day. I've been doing a lot of exercise today, so I'm just cogitating on the week ahead and gathering my thoughts about what we're about to witness this week with this monumental event in London.
It is going to be epic, mate. And you've started off with the bombshell because I thought you said something else, in a dark room. But
Then you always think I do say something else, so
I don't know if you did that on purpose or not, Gareth.
who knows? No one will
I
ever
don't even
know.
know the meaning of mask. What does what does that word mean?
Masticate.
Masticate. What does that mean?
It means chewing over.
All right, okay. I'd like to know how many people in the comments actually know what that word means because I'm pretty sure everyone thought the same as me.
Yeah, but it's just I'm using it figuratively, of course. I'm chewing um, over the details ahead. It's a really, really interesting week, and also it was a very late finish for me last night at Talk Sport, and a very early start with Canelo as well.
Yep. I've got,
Berlanga.
before we jump onto Canelo Berlanga, just a quick couple of questions from the fans, Gareth,
Oh yeah,
from the
okay.
last interview.
I've
Um,
missed those.
a couple of these random ones. Somebody suggests Liam Richards says Gareth is a type of guy to push the arm on his sunglasses repeatedly behind his ear.
What, like that? You mean?
I'm assuming that's, yeah, maybe that's what he means. Yeah.
What, like, or does he mean like the Eric Morecambe?
I don't know, but you do mess about your glasses a fair bit.
Do I?
Yeah, every now and
Okay,
again.
well there you go. I'm that type of guy then.
There
Clearly.
you go. Last one. Gareth is the type of guy to say, "Why be moody? Shake your booty."
Yeah, I love it. Why be moody? Shake your booty. Make it sing, baby.
There you go.
If you snooze, you lose.
Indeed, you do. Let's jump on to Canelo Berlanga. A lot of criticism, Berlanga, a lot of criticism was put towards Berlanga for getting the Canelo fight. People are kind of suggesting they're worlds apart, etc. But I'd like to say I think Edgar Berlanga proved that he's not far off that level, and he put in a really good shift last night. What do you think,
He
Gareth?
did. He did. He made it a good fight. He made it a competitive fight in terms of the exchanges between the two. But you saw the difference in levels when Canelo hit him with a left hook that he just didn't see coming, and he put him on the seat of his pants. And you could see Belanga's frustration at it. Yeah, he was a game opponent. He obviously Canelo dominated on the cards. You know, what was he given? One round by two of the judges,
Yeah.
Berlanga.
And obviously there
Um,
was a knockdown as well. So if you take the knockdown out,
yeah, and there was a knockdown.
mm,
Let's say that 11th round knockdown, that left hook from nowhere was amazing. Canelo relished it, I think, and I think the more that Berlanga did, the more Canelo upped his game. But you do have to praise Berlanga for bringing it. We do need to realise from that performance that Canelo is a modern great, and that Charlo, Munguia, Berlanga, Plant, these guys do struggle to live with him. They're not of the same level, and you can say that as well of Billy Joe Saunders and Callum Smith and so many others who challenged him at this time in his career, and they weren't up to it.
realistically, I know he said in an interview that he wants Bivol next if he wins, but I don't think there was any suggestion that he'd fight Beterbiev if Beterbiev wins. 'Cause that would be a wild fight. What do you think is realistically next for him?
Yeah, well, that if Bivol wins against Beterbiev, Artur Beterbiev, I see him facing him. Beterbiev's not a good style for Canelo against a much bigger guy, heavier guy. When you think Beterbiev has fought Alexander Usyk as well, I think may have beaten him in the amateurs. Um, I think that's right. May not. I think he's got a win against him in the amateurs. Oh my God, Sean Porter fought Usyk in the amateurs. He was trying to recall it the other day, wasn't he?
Yeah.
A very long time ago. Potentially, the four fights out there, obviously, are David Benavidez, Chris Eubank Jr., if that fight works out, is viable, as in facing, I think it's a ninth Brit for Canelo. If Canelo was to agree to fight with Artur Beterbiev if he beats Dimitri Bivol, that would be amazing. Dimitri Bivol is a good fight for him still. Styles again, and maybe David Morrell. When you look at the super middleweight division at the moment, there's no one there you want to see him fighting apart from Benavidez, who's a naturally bigger guy as well. Canelo needs those two or three legacy fights now. Look at the attitude and aptitude and desire and meticulousness that he still goes into all these fights, having taken up the sports at 15 and a half and become a pro. He's 35 now, 66 fights deep. And yeah, he is slightly below maybe what he was a couple of years ago, but he showed again on Saturday or last night, as it was a few hours ago, that he's a very, very skilled operator, and
Indeed,
he's up to these guys trying to take the crown off him.
indeed it is. We'll move on to before we talk about the big week ahead, just quickly, I don't know if you can offer any updates. Do you know if there's any update or news on Dillian White, Conor Benn situations? When can we expect any news on them?
The truth is, they will never fight each other.
No, I mean Dillian White and Conor Benn.
I don't know what the update is for them on either man at the moment. I've been focused on this upcoming week
Okay,
and Canelo at the weekend.
right. Let's jump straight in.
I don't know what the scenario is for them at the moment, although I imagine it is coming to a head, and I do think we'll see them both in the ring soon.
Okay, in the UK.
Well, Dillian White potentially more so than Conor Benn, but in this period of entente cordiale between promoters, maybe we'll get that from the board at some point, and they'll thresh out a deal. But I haven't looked into an update. I didn't know an update was due. Well, it's an update on both's been due for months, hasn't it? Frankly,
Yeah, I saw Eddie in an interview. I can't remember which outlet it was, but he did say something about October for Connor, so it could be imminent. Uh, we'll
but
jump.
he said that 4 or 5 times in the past. So, but
Yeah,
hopefully they're making something move. It's about time. He's been away from the sport, and certainly in the UK for it's 2 years now, isn't it?
yeah.
Just
We'll
coming up 2 years.
we'll jump straight into the fights this week, Gareth. Are you gonna sit on the fence, or do you think you'll be willing to give predictions on some of these fights?
Come on, hit me with it then.
The first fight I want to talk about is it's not going to be the show opener, but Josh Kelly's obviously lost an opponent, but there's rumors that he might get a replacement. Have you heard about any replacement rumors?
No, I haven't actually. I haven't heard them. There will be definitely a replacement. If you know who it is, let me know because I don't know if there is one.
Yeah.
Um,
I,
have you heard
I,
he's definitely fighting then?
I suspect there will be a replacement, but I understand His Excellency will probably make the announcement himself.
Yeah. Well, if
Yeah,
the fight does go ahead, I cannot see it being someone really difficult at middleweight um, for Josh Kelly right now. But if they do, then great,
yeah,
because that was one of the intriguing fights on the card.
yeah,
I don't know who the replacement is. If I'm totally honest, I
yeah,
don't know if he's definitely fighting or not. But I think they will have worked a way to get it because it'll only be 6 fights on the card if Josh Kelly doesn't fight anybody.
yeah. I think they're getting a very good replacement, so hopefully they'll be announced tomorrow. We'll start
If
with
it's Denzel Bentley or someone like that at middleweight, I think that's great.
okay.
Uh, but it's great if Josh gets to fight.
I'll start with the show opener, Mark Chamberlain, Josh Padley. I don't know if you know much about Josh. He's from up north, and obviously he's got a big date with Turkey's favorite, Mark Chamberlain.
Yeah, well, he's up against the house fighter, isn't he?
Yeah,
Um,
as House of
Turkey's
Regrets.
favourite. So he better watch his step all week because Mark Chamberlain is probably going to get the royal carpet, the purple carpet rolled out for him all week because he's been given the opportunity, and every time um, he's been given it, he's stepped up, and it's changed his life. So um, he's looked really good. He's looked really fit, looked really focused for the last two events, and look, they're both going to go out there and deliver. It'll get the crowd going. It will probably I imagine, be about 5 in the evening when those guys start, and it'll probably be half full at that point. But 48,000 still not a bad number if for the first fight of the night.
Who wins?
I'm not going to back against Chamberlain.
Okay.
He's got the might of Turkey Al Sheikh on his back.
We're going to fly through these because I know you've got to do another gig in a bit, and there's quite a few fights. Joshua Buatsi, Willie Hutchinson.
I love this fight. I think Willie Hutchinson has got the mettle and has got the mental strength and the skill set to take on anyone in the 175-pound division. It's a big test for him against a very tough man, a very patient man, a very dangerous fighter in Joshua Buatsi. I think Josh is very different to Craig Richards, and I just think Joshua Buatsi is going to have too much for Willie Hutchinson, but Hutchinson's going to be difficult for him early in the fight. When he works him out, it's going to be some great exchanges. You can't write Willie Hutchinson off completely because what he showed, his skill set he showed against Craig Richards. But I'm going Joshua Buatsi by points or even a late stoppage.
Okay. And then we've got Anthony Kakache, Josh Warrington. I still don't know if that is still going to be for the IBF belt or not.
It doesn't matter if it's for the belt. It's great to see Josh Warrington fight a super feather. Those extra pounds will help him. Has he got one big, more dangerous dance left in himself? Yes, probably. Kakache brings it. We know that. This fight will warm up and they will bring hell to each other at 100 miles an hour, both of them. It's going to be a terrific fight. It'll be all action as long as it lasts, in my view. I'm going Kakache to retain the IBF belt because I think the belt will be on the line.
Points, stoppage.
Late stoppage.
Okay.
Mid to late stoppage.
The big middleweight fight, Tyler Denny, Hamza Shiraz. I was looking at Tyler's record. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure he's beaten at least 6 undefeated fighters. Could Hamza Shiraz be the next one? What do you think?
Um, Tyler Denny has a fairy tale storyline. And just look how he's got here at late notice because it was going to be Chris Eubank Jr. against Hamza Shiraz. That was the first choice. We may yet see that fight as well at some point. But I think Hamza Shiraz, he showed something against Ammo Williams in that he can come back when he's under pressure, and we didn't know that about him. He can come back really well when he looks hurt and damaged. Tyler Denny is very strong. Self-belief is there for him. That he's driven by doing things for his family. He's been on a stellar rise in the last year, like just to shock the world he's been doing in the last year. But I just think Hamza Shiraz might be a step too far. I think he'll give it all, and it wouldn't surprise me to see Hamza Shiraz stop Tyler Denny late.
Okay. It was 5 undefeated fighters that he's beat. Derek Ozaze, River Wilson, Brad Ray, Brad Pauls, and Felix Cash. And the main event, Joshua Dubois. I tell you, I had a really interesting interview this week with a chap called Franklin Ignatius, who's fighting Jamie TKV on the Sky Sports show. And he'd apparently sparred Dubois 2 weeks ago. And normally sparring partners always side with the guy that they were sparring with. And he basically said he's picking AJ to win by stoppage, which I found quite surprising. And he didn't care, he just said what he thought.
Yeah, I mean, you can't rule out Daniel Dubois winning because he's got the power and he's got the wherewithal, and he's on a rise at the moment, and he's gone through hardship in fights and he's come back and he looks very strong at the moment. He's got his self-belief. There's more pressure on Anthony Joshua as well, in my view, to deliver in this fight, but he's been at these occasions before. He's only faltered really against Andy Ruiz in that first fight and twice against Usyk, or against Alexander Usyk. And he's more than capable of putting in a great performance against Daniel Dubois, who has proven he's hittable as well. So if Anthony Joshua can impose himself. I think the fight will start slowly. I think they'll work each other out. I think it'll be a very patient beginning. I think by rounds 3 and 4, we'll be deep into the action between them. And I think Joshua wins in 5, 6, 7, or 8 rounds.
Okay. Um,
5 to 8.
how important is the build up to that this week? What are you expecting? Are you expecting beef between them in the build up?
Yeah, I'm expecting Daniel Dubois. No, I'm expecting Daniel Dubois to not beef as such, but they had that. We're
Give him
going to see
some back.
clips of that. I expect him to um, try and get under the skin of Joshua a little bit, but just be himself. Daniel Dubois is going to be under more pressure to deliver um, more interviews this week, to be more visible this week. I know he does that thing where he just bats off questions and doesn't do much, but he's going to be under more pressure than he's ever been. He's going to be smothered by interviews. He's going to have lots of demands on him. But I think Anthony Joshua will probably enjoy the occasion more and is more capable of it. This is a great hunting ground for him, Wembley Stadium. He's not lost there. It's a place of, I know he lost to Usyk at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and he lost in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, but it's a happy hunting ground for Joshua. He's been here several times. So I just think he's got the marginal gains. But if he doesn't get the game plan right, which he will, with Ben Davison, who's told me he's ready, yeah, that they are all ready. Yeah, it makes for a great prospect. It's, you know, this time in 6 days' time, when we're into card fight 5 out of 7 on the card, it's going to be really, really thrilling. It's going to be an amazing night. It's going to be an historic night. You know, it's 31 years since Tyson Fury, Frank Bruno and Lennox Lewis fought at Cardiff in Cardiff. 28,000 people there. First time two Brits have contested a world title fight. Obviously, Bruno did very well that night until Lewis clipped him in the 7th round. It's a really big occasion. It's a massive week. Can't wait to get started on it.
Yep, it should be fireworks all week. I'm just going to mention, Gareth, we're actually giving away an Usyk signed glove on our Instagram page. If people jump onto the Boxing King Media Instagram page, and you'll see a post with the thumbnail of Johnny Nelson and Dominic Ingle pinned to the top. Just click on that post, the instructions on how to get yourself in the draw are on there. There's only about 100 people in the draw at the minute, so you got a good chance of winning. And it's
Do
all
you want me to go in there as well? I'd
Mate, you're
love to
more
have
than
a signed
mate, you're more
Usyk
than
glove.
welcome. It's all framed up, nicely done. It was done by our sponsors at BYD, so it's
Nice.
a real good one. And also, there's a big event happening at Box Park on the Saturday, a few hours before the fight. I urge all fans, get on the Gold Star website, get your tickets. There's not many left. You've got Usyk, Fury, Amir Khan, Kell Brook, Tony Bellew. There's somebody else on
Joe Calzaghe, I think, is
Joe
going as
Calzaghe, Ricky Hatton. That's a mad star cast of boxers that you can meet and greet in one venue, and that box park isn't that big, so you're going to be really up close and
well.
personal. So if you're coming down to the event, snap up them tickets, and the box park is literally a 5 minute walk from Wembley Stadium.
Fantastic. Can't wait. I will see you all week, my friend.